Okay, this video is going to be about the patch note. There's a lot to cover in this because they included a lot more information into the patch note compared to the patch notes in the past, such as some ability description of the new heroes. So let's get started. First is the season synergy. So season 5 introduced two new season synergy in Enigma and Soul Eater, and the Elations and Astro synergy are retired. The Enigma synergies will consume energies and charm an enemy unit, temporarily recruiting the target to your team, and the unit will move to your side and attack its former ally. After a certain number of rounds, it will return to the enemy side. So this sounds really strong because, well, it's broken because it feels like a better version of the Banish, and the Banish is already broken. In the past seasons, all the synergies who got the Banish effect from the season synergy are very strong. So when Mystifier got the Banish, Mystifier is OP, and when Avengers got the Banish, Avengers are OP. And this synergy seemed to be a better version of the Banish. But there's one thing. It says the unit will move to your side and attack its former ally. So, what happened if all your five heroes are alive and there's no room in your side? Does that mean that it won't charm the enemy? If that's so, then it's a little weird. So, we have to see how it plays out. But if it's functioned normally, then it will be broken. Anyway, so for the Soul Eater's synergy allows one of your heroes to devour an ally, reducing the ally's stats while boosting their own. The devoured hero's attack, defense, and other stat will be reduced, while the corresponding stats of the devouring hero will be increased until the end of the battle, consuming energy to remove the stat reduction effect from the devoured heroes while keeping the devouring hero's stat boost unchanged. So this one is like it sacrifices the stats of one ally to boost another. This one depends on whether you get to choose which ally is being devoured and which ally is devouring others. Because in this game, some heroes need stats more than other heroes. For example, in your Ethereal team, your Eudora would need stats because she's the main damage dealer, and your Elawin doesn't need stats like at all because she's not dealing much damage and she's mostly here to provide utility. So if we can control that Eudora will be devouring Elawin, then this effect will be good. But if it's random, then it won't be that good. What's interesting here is that all the heroes will have the Enigma synergies. As you can see, they are the one of the worst heroes. So yeah, Mystifier is OC, and Valianter is Ashlyn, and Ethereal is Illy. But I think another thing is it might be forcing you to build the new season synergy with the new heroes because all these heroes they are bad. So I think to it might happen is to play the Enigma synergy, you need to have Zetian, and that might happen. So the following heroes will have the Soul Eater synergy. So there's Bastet, and there's Christine and Anubia and Lee and Albert and Athena. So yeah, these are the relatively underwhelming heroes. And the two new heroes will be Hades and Lancelot. Okay, so this is their reasoning. In the previous season, when we noticed that many Omni Guardians has to dismantle their existing team to build new season synergy teams. For example, removing Eudora from Ethereal's team to place her in season synergy team often result in a weakened Ethereal lineup, which is not what we intended. To address this, we have selected some heroes with high ownership rate but a low usage rate, granted them the season synergy. Yeah, I do like this direction. So now that the useless heroes are not completely useless, they're in the season synergy. But again, so it seems that these synergies are good, but the synergy has to be broken to justify playing these like bad heroes. Otherwise, like you might be better off just ignore these new synergy and focus on like building a double Avengers team or double Doomsday team. Like if one of the season synergy is broken, it would be good to build two team of the synergies. So yeah, and then we can move on to the new heroes. Season 5 will introduce 4 new heroes as usual. Wu Zetian is Glorian. She can charm an enemy target, temporarily recruiting them to your team. When your team takes damage, the charmed enemy will absorb it instead. And also, when her ally have the control immunity effect, the damage they receive is reduced. Okay, that's a really good Glorian heroes. As we know, Glorian synergy have control immunity effect, and that means that as long as she's in a Glorian team, your team will have reduced damage for the duration when your like control immunity lasts. And that's pretty good because though there's 2 ways your game plan can be interrupted. Either your team dies or they get DC'd. And if you have both control immunity and damage reduction, then you can kind of build an invincible team where there's no way the enemy can stop you, and you can execute your game plan and kill the enemies. Yeah, this might be a very broken heroes, but we don't know her other synergies yet. So maybe she's a celestial and monarch. That would be my guess, or maybe she's an enchanter because she's gonna harm an enemy, and that's enchanter flavor wise. I don't know. So the flavor is not always consistent in this game, anyways. So yeah, we can just wait. Maybe tomorrow they will release her synergy, and then we have Passion Goddess Aphrodite synergy Avengers. So she can also harm enemies, and when the charmed target takes damage, your team will recover HP. And when any unit on the battlefield dies, Passion Goddess Aphrodite will increase her attack and immediately remove debuffs from your team. The first effect is not as good as Fu Zetian. Actually, we don't know. So, like, it's actually difficult to tell which one is better. I would guess the effect of Fu Zetian is better than Aphrodite, but I don't know. And the increased attack part is similar to the other Avengers units like Jenna and Althea. So like when units on battlefield are dying, they will increase their attack. Yeah, but overall, I think the charm effect, unless it doesn't work when your team has 5 units, which is not very likely now that I think about it, because it's possible that you will recruit the enemy into your 6 slot for the summon units, even if all your 5 heroes are alive. So yeah, I think the charm effect will make them good. And yeah, the new heroes are always pretty strong. Okay, move on to Hades. So Devourer and enemy target. So Devourer here is like reducing their stats. So it's not like it removes a unit or obliterates a unit, just reduce stats. After 4 rounds, unless Underworld Lord Hades is defeated, the devoured target will die instantly. 4 rounds is a lot though. It's not very likely that Hades will stay alive because like it's Valianter, there's not much defense on Valianter team. So yeah, I don't think this effect is that strong because fight doesn't last for 4 rounds for Valianter synergy. So Valianter is all about bursting enemy down, and they doesn't have enough survivability to last 4 rounds unless there's a hidden effect where Hades increase his own HP by 3000%. Unless that happens, I don't think this effect is that strong. And his second ability is also weird because it provides your Valantir teams an ability to execute enemies below 35% health, but the Valianter Relic synergy is already providing an execute effect. So this one is kind of redundant. Well, the threshold is higher. So it's like either this one is redundant or they're making the Valianter Relic synergy redundant. So yeah, unless we have missing information, I think Hades might be the worst one because there's no way these twos are bad. Like even if like you need to have an open slot, then maybe people will find a weird build where you just only play 4 heroes to guarantee the charm effect. Yeah, and this one, I think this is a non-D&D hero, Lancelot. Lancelot's attack apply crowd and can double the number of crowd stack on the target. So this is like a combination of Sandra and Minotaur, but we need more information on this to see if it's good. Okay, next we have the Dragon War added to Clash Domain. So the existing Monster Siege mode will be replaced by Dragon War. So some people like the Monster Siege game mode, but I feel like it's just we need to click and get a reward. There's not much gameplay to it, so I'm glad this one is removed. And for the detail for the Dragon War, so this we can't like get the full rules here, so I think we'll just skip it and wait for the actual release. Okay, season artifact. So now there's also PvP artifact. So this is more interesting now. So now PvP has another layer in the season game mode. So now we have season synergy and season PvP artifact alongside the normal gameplay. So I think this will make the game more interesting. So chaotic space based on Omni Guardian feedback, we lowered the requirement of unlocking high level of synergy slate in season 5's chaotic space. Yeah, that's pretty good. And Omni Guardians can advance higher more quickly. Yeah, I like that too. So feedback updates. In the guild mode, Gresham Realm, the revival skill of Community Reborn can resurrect defeated boss. When the boss difficulty is high, the skill can create significant challenges, leading many Omni Guardians to find it quite problematic. So yeah, this one. So this one it depends on the skill of your guild leader, and I'm in a guild where my leader is very good at this, and yeah, so it's not good for me, but I get it's increasing the overall game experience. In the past, we even do like coordinate attack where we get all the 4 bosses to like 1% health, and then all 4 of the guild member will go online and attack the boss at once to avoid enemy using the revival skill. And yeah, okay. So another change is the zone servers T1, T42, and S1 and S50 will be merged. And after the merge, they will have various game mode they will be doing together. That's great because there are people coming, people leaving, but the new people who came here are in the newer servers. So for the older servers, there will be less and less people, and they will feel like their server is dead. And so overall, merging server is a good thing, and people are asking for it. So I'm glad that the dev is listening. And also, Clash domain operations have been optimized. We have simplified the team's filtering and auto team setup process, enhance usability. So yeah, quality of life change is always good. So the rest of the patch note will be balance changes, and I think I'll do another video for that. So for this one, thanks for watching.